You hand Death your copy of the board game Everdell. I hope you don't mind my assumption. According to our legends, you really like games. This one is my favorite. I just wanted to give you a thank you gift for taking me peacefully. Once upon a time, Death loved playing games. Backgammon with the Hogfather. Tuesday poker nights with war, famine, and pestilence. Shogi against the Tooth Fairy. And for many, many years, he played games against humans. Mostly chess, but others as well, Othello, Senet, or the game of yore, to name a few. He can't quite remember the first time a human came to him with a game in their hands, it was so many millennia ago. What he does remember are their reactions once the game ends. Every time he wins, there's some sort of negative outcome. Some would burst into tears, begging for another chance. Others would dissolve into a resigned sulky gloom. Death never understood why, at least, not until he played chess against Grandmaster Gordonov. Up until then, he'd simply written off humanity as a bunch of sore losers. Checkmate. Grandmaster Gordonov had a euphoric expression on his face. It was the expression of a man who had pitted his wits against death and somehow, against all odds, come out on top. This was, in fact, not a metaphor. Death stared at the board in a stunned silence. He had never lost to a human in, well, all of eternity. Some had come close, but none had ever taken the cake, so to speak. It was a good thing that famine had taught him how to be a good sport, otherwise, he wouldn't have known how to react in this sort of situation. Sticking out his humorous, Death extended his carpal bones for Gordonov to shake. Good game. Gordonov stared at Death's bony hand. Well? Death cocked his head to the side. Well, what? I won against you. Doesn't that mean I get a second chance at life? What are you talking about? I mean, isn't that how this works? If you can beat Death at a game of your choosing, you get to have your life back. Everyone knows that. The silence stretched on for what seemed like an eternity before Death spoke once more. I see. It appears that I am not everyone. So it's not true? We weren't gambling my life on that game? You're saying that all along, none of it really mattered? I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. Death isn't sure how or when the rumors started. Maybe, War got it in his head that it'd be funny to give humanity false hope. Unfortunately for Death, rumors were like cancers, they spread uncontrollably, they're hard to kill, and unless you root out every last vestige, they'll come right back with a renewed vengeance. After that nasty business with Gordonov, the Grand Master was quite foul-mouthed after he realized that he wouldn't get his way. For a few centuries, Death still played games with humans. He started off each game by explaining that nothing was on the line, there were no second chances, this was just for fun. No, really. They never believed him. And so, Death doesn't play games with humans. Not anymore. The girl who is standing in front of Death can't be more than 14. Her life's been a hard one, filled with hospital stays and blood draws. It's a premature end for someone who's barely lived. It's times like these where Death wishes that he was the one who made the rules. She holds a game in her hands. Dorf Romantic. It's one that he hasn't seen before, but it doesn't matter either way, Death isn't going to play. He tells her as much, and the girl's hopeful expression crumples. She's crestfallen. Oh, she says. For some reason, everyone always talks about how much you like to play games. In the stories, you're always playing chess, so I thought I'd bring you something different. This one's my favorite. Death eyes the game with trepidation. It's a trap, he thinks to himself. She's going to get you playing and you'll start having fun and she'll probably win because it's her favorite game, and then she'll expect something from you. They always expect something from you when they win. We don't have to play right now. She says, clocking his hesitation. Maybe you can read over the rules sometime and play with the Tooth Fairy or the Hogfather when you get the chance. It's just a gift. Why? Well, to have fun, right? Isn't that what all games are for? The girl looks confused. Death chuckles grimly. To have fun. All those millennia, and he was silly enough to think that the moment a human died, they were just raring at the bit to play Othello or gin rummy or whatever game it was, just for fun. But maybe, this time is different. Maybe, he should give the girl a chance. Well, you're going to have to teach me the rules. And if you win, you don't get anything. She grins and opens up the box, pulling out components and setting them on the table that has suddenly materialized out of nowhere. Oh, we're on the same team in this game, she clarifies. So if I win, we both win. Death hasn't played a cooperative game before. But as they place tiles and finish quests, a sense of peace settles over him. And when the game is over, 122 points, she shakes his phalanges, nods twice, and smiles. I'm ready. Thanks for playing one last game with me, she says. Death looks down at the city that they've built together. At the clusters of little villages, the branching railroads, the flowing streams. No, he replies. Thank you.